Star Wars Visions is what happens when you give Star Wars to people who love Star Wars. Once again, Visions is out here making some of the best Star Wars content we've seen in years. The animation style from each and every episode is stunning. Each score is emotional and moving. And the stories are breathtaking, sweet, heartwarming, and any other positive adjective you can think of. While Visions Season 1 was pretty good in its own right, Season 2 upped the ante to what I'd honestly call a perfect season. Each and every episode captured that Star Wars feel. They captured that wonder, that intrigue, and unlike the last season, each and every episode felt like it could fit perfectly into Star Wars canon. While I could honestly gush about how happy I am that Star Wars is doing this for hours, I want to focus on one episode of Season 2 in particular, Screecher's Reach. This is how you evolve the Star Wars formula. First, let's take a step back a bit and talk about this Star Wars formula. From the very first movie in the franchise, Star Wars has always been about the hero's journey. In fact, George Lucas initially based the whole idea of Star Wars on Joseph Campbell's The Hero with a Thousand Faces. That being the simple call to adventure, trials, tribulations, return changed, and all that good stuff I've mentioned probably a dozen times on this channel by now. Every first episode of each trilogy, for the most part, has that structure. Anakin was a kid, met the Jedi, left home and went on some trials, and ended up as Obi-Wan's Padawan. Luke was a farmer who wanted to do more, met Obi-Wan, went through trials, and joined the rebellion as one of the last Jedi. Rey was a scavenger who wanted to do more, met Finn, went through trials, and joined the Resistance as one of the last Jedi. Hey, wait a second. The thing here is, Anakin's start, while being on the same planet, is different from Luke's. He's a slave. He didn't know he could be so much more until the Jedi arrived and helped him achieve his true purpose. It's familiar yet evolves the formula. Rey's story is exactly like Luke's. It doesn't evolve anything and is just a poor rehash. That's why it feels wrong, and that's why it feels empty. Nothing was evolved, just copied and pasted poorly. What Screecher's Reach does is evolve that opening hero's journey formula. So let's just quickly run through the story for those of you who need a refresher or haven't seen it yet. We open on an unknown planet with multiple workers waking for duty. Panning up, we see that work here never stops, as beings of all kind work tooth and nail towards some unknown goal. We focus on some workers turning valves all in tandem. However, one in particular is off from the rest as the valve snaps to the side, breaking. The worker storms off, throwing their gear as they go. Removing their helmet, we are introduced to a girl named Doll. Following her are her two friends, the older boy Bathan and the younger Quinn. Doll tells the boys she's getting out of here and is going to Screecher's Reach. Quinn comments on the fact that it's haunted, but Doll isn't dissuaded. Overhearing them is a little girl named Kina, who joins the crew as they all sneak off and steal some speeders. Initially passing through dead and polluted industrial zones, the crew eventually enter the gorgeous landscape of this planet. Resting, Bathan tells the story of Screecher's Reach and about how nobody's ever seen the ghost or returned. The younger kids run off and play while Doll and Bathan have a heart-to-heart. Doll is contemplating leaving everything behind, which Bathan thinks is totally fine. Bathan says,
Doll, you've always wanted something more. And if you ever get the chance to find out what that is, take it. Don't look back.
Continuing on foot, the kids make it to Screecher's Reach. Kina comments on how it's a bad, dark place. Doll grabs her necklace and says,
I follow your path with strength and courage.
And moves in. As Bathan turns on the light, Doll moves ahead, leaving the others behind as she's drawn to something. The kids are then met by the ghost, which shrieks at the kids, causing a cave-in. The kids run, with Kina trying to help Doll, but she stays behind. The cave-in separates the kids as Doll confronts the ghost. Thinking it's all in her mind, Doll stands tall until the ghost ignites a red lightsaber, cutting her. The cave-in reveals a beam of light, allowing Doll to escape. However, she's caught. As the ghost tries to kill her, Doll manages to use the Force and pull a rock down and crush the ghost. Now, in full visibility, Doll can see that this ghost is actually some old Sith woman. Picking up her lightsaber, the old woman tries to take it from her, but Doll ignites it and kills the ghost. Doll escapes the cave and confronts her friends, telling them that the ghost was real. Her necklace starts to glow and tells her that it's time for them to meet. Out of nowhere, a massive ship arrives and a strange woman steps out called the Sith Mother. The Sith Mother tells Doll that the lightsaber is hers now and tells her new apprentice to come along with her. Doll asks if her friends could come too, but the Sith Mother says no, as the test was only for her. Dahl is left with the choice: go with the Sith Mother and start a new life, or stay with her friends. Dahl looks to Bathan and says,
Don't look back. Right?
Dahl enters the ship and leaves with the Sith Mother, but not before looking back one last time. This clearly isn't the end of Dahl's story. We simply saw the start, yet the start feels familiar. Dahl is a worker/potential slave who wants to do more. She's given a quest, goes through trials, and joins the Sith Mother as her new apprentice. We see echoes of stories from the past. However, instead of being a carbon copy of them, it's an evolution. Yes, we've seen a kid from a backwater planet before. However, that added element of that emotional struggle of leaving her friends behind is something new. Yes, we've all seen the new Jedi approaching a cave to battle their inner demons before. However, the added element of the demon being tangible is something new. And yes, we've seen the mystical being coming down from on high to take this gifted child away from squalor. However, the fact that it's a Sith and not a Jedi taking this gifted child away is something new. This all is amazingly fresh yet familiar and is the perfect prologue for a new character. What's even more interesting is the fact that the ending feels bittersweet. The ethereal score Departure by Leo Pearson playing in the background as Dahl leaves her friends behind makes the whole scene feel heartbreaking. This is her going to a new and better life, so it should be good, right? It should be a big moment. But the score makes it feel as if something is off, something's not quite right. And as Dahl looks back, there's the slightest hint of regret in her eyes, which is also something new. Unlike most Star Wars shows as of late, I really want to see where this story goes. Does Dahl regret her choice? Is her life as a Sith apprentice worse than before? Who even is the Sith Mother? Why was there an old Sith woman hiding in a cave? Is this in the past or the future? So many questions that I'd love answers to because, as I said before, this is only the beginning of Dahl's story. This feeling of wanting to know more has been sorely lacking in a lot of Star Wars as of late, because a lot of Star Wars properties have just been lacking in creativity and just feel empty. I don't want to see another story of an older character taking a kid under their wing and becoming family, because we've seen that with The Mandalorian, The Bad Batch, and Kenobi, and we'll most likely see it again with Skeleton Crew and probably other upcoming projects. Evolve. Because if you don't evolve, you get left behind. Screecher's Reach not only evolves the basic Star Wars hero's journey story, but also evolves that new older character taking a kid under their wing kind of story. Because I don't think Dahl is in for a good time with this Sith Mother. This is how you keep an IP fresh, and it's astonishing that, yet again, another studio is doing Star Wars better than Star Wars. I really think it all comes down to people who love making Star Wars are making Star Wars. They don't have to cater to statistics or pitch a story to a boardroom full of people who don't understand the basics of storytelling. It's just true, unapologetic Star Wars. And we need that now more than ever.